Right, good morning. Welcome to the Carew Show. Oh, I am truly honoured that I've actually got a really great special guest here. It's Stephen Chandiwana. What I want to do is to introduce you to our lovely audience here on the Carew Show. As just to let everyone know, this is off the cuff. So this is like director's cut. There's nothing here where there's nothing to be ashamed of. I like to let people know this because obviously I'm doing this differently. Most of my edits that I've done is all unedited. So like I said, I'm truly honoured to have 3 times bodybuilder champion and also celebrity coach with extreme nutrition. Now, how are you, Stephen? It's been an honour having you on the show.
No, Phil, it's an honor for me for you to take this opportunity to interview me, and I look forward to the interview. And thank you for having me on Phil Carew show.
Oh, well, like I said, sometimes I'm actually lost for words, audience, because I had this on my last on my last show, Stephen. Sometimes people think, oh, isn't it because you don't know what to say? No, it's because it's not that you're overwhelmed or excited. It's more of letting people know that this isn't scripted. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't understand that when you meet people and they have such great gifts and sort of talent and things that happen like this, it's like a reward for me, being able to have someone on my show and appreciating my work. And also it shows me that I'm appreciating the work that you guys sort of bring to the show, and being able to even, well, my goodness, one of your trophies, like I noticed in the background there.
Yeah, these are special, I have to say, but no, thank you.
Right, what I wanted to ask you now, this is, like I said, off the cuff, and yes, I have got some questions for you that I've given you, but there'll be some curveballs, nothing intrusive. It's more of a surprise sort of response, more natural and organic sort of response from the interviewee. I like to sort of let people know that, like I said before, it's not scripted. It's more about sort of getting to know your audience and even yourself. Now, the first question I'd like to ask you is tell us a little bit about yourself, Stephen, and your backstory in regards to your journey of health and fitness and your bodybuilding.
Okay, yeah, that's a great question, Phil. So from where I come from, I'm an immigrant, first of all. I came to this country basically with nothing. All I had with me was a plastic bag of my clothes. To kind of course, try to find an opportunity in this country. And I would do literally anything in terms of work. So, of course, I arrived here. I was 16 years old. I was on my own, and I had to find ways, of course, to find a job and things like that. So I did manage to find a job where I was a glass collector. I was glass collecting at a pub. As they call it, of course, in this country now. I'm British as well. So from there on, I had an interest anyway when I was growing up as a kid from Africa, where I used to do a lot of running with barefoot. We never had trainers or anything like that. And of course, so when I came over here, I never knew gyms existed. And of course, I was earning a little bit of money from my glass collecting job. And I've always wanted to join a gym, but I didn't have enough money to do that. So I used to still go for runs like I used to do when I was in Africa, where I would go running in the gravel barefoot, where there's stones and things like that. And so from there, when I was here, I started doing exactly similar. Of course, I had shoes. I was running on the pavement here. For example, I lived in Rush Green, in an area called Rush Green here in Romford. And I would run from Rush Green to Southend. Of course, not barefoot and back, because I couldn't just afford the gym anyway. So because my money was very, very small, what was earning from, so I was saving to pay rent and try to make a living and to eat, and of course to pay all my bills. So eventually I managed to get a job at a chemist. I had so many jobs anyway, but I'll kind of cut a long story short. I had a job at Boots the chemist, and I was stacking shelves. And eventually I was earning a little bit more money, and I was saving a bit of money. And then in the end, I was going to Holland & Barrett's. Holland & Barrett's is of course, it's a competitor to me now. It's a nutrition shop. So anyway, so I was walking into Holland & Barrett's, getting some my protein shakes. And I started getting, of course, a lot more interest in bodybuilding, because I became for a small guy, I was only weighing about 9 stone. But in my first gym, I was one of the strongest guys, being stronger than even guys who were like 20, 24 stone. And for me, it just came natural. I wasn't trying to outdo anyone. All I believed was hard work, determination, and that's being putting in the work. So anyway, I was doing my thing. And of course, once a month, I would go to Holland & Barrett's to pick up my supplements. One day I walked into Holland & Barrett's. There was another shop next door to it. It was also a nutrition shop. They were advertising for an ad for a manager's job. I've never had any managerial skills or whatsoever. And this guy says, "You look like you're interested. You're always here every time to buy your supplement once a month. You are really into your fitness. Why can't you apply for the manager job in the shop next door?" And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Yeah. Me? I stack shelves and Boots. How can I even dare to believe I can do that? So anyway, I just thought I got nothing to lose. I gave it a go. I submitted my application form. And then I didn't expect anything. I continued to go to the gym. I think about a few weeks later, I got a phone call for an interview in London for the job. And I'm thinking like, fuck, how am I I didn't have a suit. I didn't have anything. So I kind of tried to get a good attire. Anyway, cut a long story short, I went to the interview, and of course, they told me that, we will tell you the answer in the next few weeks. But in my mind, I dare to believe that I would ever actually even get offered the job. But at the same time, I'm actually, mind my language here, I'm shitting myself. I'm thinking like, even if I get the job, how? I've never I've never managed anybody.
Wow.
Anyway, so I got offered the job, and I just could not believe it. Like from basically picking up glasses at the pub, from stacking up shelves in Boots the chemist, and now all of a sudden, there was also other sequences of job. I was working through an agency throughout that period as well. But to get the manager job at this health shop was like, for me, one of the biggest things which kind of changed my life. And when I started there, I became one of the best managers there. And of course, I was still going to the gym, and everybody would come for advice. And I started doing courses in nutrition. I had a diploma in nutrition and training and things like that. So I kind of like just continued to develop myself because I was falling more and more in love with my training, which I've always, even back when I was in Africa, I was like, doing my running at age of 5. I wanted I wanted to be like, guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. But anyway, at this point, I'm thinking like I'm getting closer now, because now I can earn a little bit of money. I can go to the gym. There's equipment. Whereas back home, I was lifting stones, and like I would just size them up. Like, like for example, when you do drop sets, of course, I think people, we do drop sets, over here now we go like 10, 5 kg, 2 kg. For me, it was stones. So I'll measure them just through my eyes to see what that is. Anyway, so I knew that I was getting a little bit closer to kind of getting the body I wanted. I just wanted that masculine look. And then, of course, I stumbled across a video of Ronnie Coleman training, and I just wanted to be like him. In a sense, if I could be even a quarter of him, I'll be happy. So yeah, that's why my journey started into fitness. And then, of course, I was working for this nutrition shop, becoming one of the best managers there. And of course, that's when I got into my bodybuilding right there, because I could afford a full gym membership.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, from where you've come from to where you are now. It's an amazing story. What is your favorite muscle group that you like to work on?
I think you should guess that, Phil. Legs. My legs.
Your legs. Oh yeah,
Yes.
I love the legs as well. Leg day. It's got you can't have a workout in your week without a leg day.
Leg day is like, you've been to the trenches. Yeah, it's one of my best. It's one of my favorites, that's for sure.
What was it like the first time? Now, this is for some people when they've never worked out their legs as hard as they have. For yourself. Now, I know some people, they say what they saying is no pain, no gain.
Yes.
But in terms of no pain, no gain, what was it like for you in your first encounter and working your legs? Not up to the level that you are now, but when you did it, because I can tell you what happened to me after.
So this you might find actually feel very strange that I say it's my favorite. At the beginning, it was my worst enemy. I didn't like to train legs because they were so painful that I felt like, oh my God, how am I ever gonna get the best legs in the like my legs to be the best? So in the end, I kind of reverse engineered it, that because it was my worst area and the pain I felt from it, I wanted to conquer that.
Yes.
So for me, the pain, honestly, was the worst pain I've ever felt in any body part I've trained. And I could not see even that much progress, even after training them several weeks. But like I said, I reverse engineered it, and then I made sure every week I was training legs twice a week. Though I had a love-hate relationship with them, but now it's my favorite. I love them.
Oh wow! No, that's a good answer, because I can remember the time when I first had a few sessions with my legs, and the guys they referred it to me in regards to what kind of workouts to do, like with the leg press. You know, when you're doing that, and then when you do anything to do with your legs, like with your quads, your hamstrings, anything, and even your calves. Now, I've noticed this when you're doing a lot of these workouts, most people are not prepared for what's to come, because I know I can guarantee most people after the first couple, you feel like you want to throw yourself out of bed because you can't, the intensity of the workout that you're doing with your legs, because most people, if they haven't encountered it, are not used to the intensity of how much they've worked their legs, because there's so much pressure and workout on your legs. It's actually the strongest part of your workout, isn't it? Your legs, of your leg day.
So it's of course the front and the posterior chain. So back, hamstrings, your glutes, and of course your front. They have to be the most like the strongest parts. Once you build that posterior chain, and especially the posterior of the legs, a lot of people find they neglect that. But once you build that, you can become unstoppable. You can build the strongest legs. But a lot of people neglect the posterior. Posterior is major. It will actually help in other movements like squats, deadlifts, or any pressing movements, because that creates the basis of the muscle. So anyway, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no. You have It's brilliant. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think the importance of it is the habit of stretching. I've noticed this a lot when people, when they work out, they don't do a warm up, they don't do a cool down, and they don't know the level of how important it is. No matter whether it's beginner level, advanced level, whatever level you're at, is to stretch, because you get that, don't you? I don't know about yourself, if you've noticed that with a lot of people, that where they regret only afterwards that they haven't stretched.
Yeah, it's I could not stress enough what you just said there. Stretching is probably one of the best, one of the most important things to support in terms of preparing the muscle, or even after to help support recovery to put the blood back into the muscle. So stretching is one of the most important things. And another thing I don't know if you know, I actually practice yoga too. So yoga is another great thing. I would say anyone looking to kind of like create that range of movement, yoga, I cannot stress enough how important that can be alongside with stretching, of course.
Oh, wow, no, I appreciate that, because I think integrating other areas of activity that can help and enhance on your muscle groups and even on your workout is very ideal to have something else, integrated with that workout, because I've noticed a number of times over the years when you've integrated other activities with what you're doing, it kind of makes it more interesting, and it makes it more it strengthens, the best way of putting it, it strengthens everything else around what you're doing, because prior to that, everything else is just like a standard thing that you think you go by. It's like a textbook thing, but not everything's always textbook. It's good to have something in place, the basics, textbook stuff, but when you've had other things to enhance, the conditioning and the strength and conditioning of everything. And even like yourself, I'm not sure if the audience were aware of this, but during sort of Stephen's journey, I myself have noticed that poor Stephen had to go through a bit of pain himself prior to getting back on track with being able to compete again. Now, if you don't mind, would you like to tell us a little bit about that, and then what happened, and what your inspiration and motivation was to get back on track? Because I know there's nothing worse when you're in a position, and some people, they feel that it may appear to be on a low to them, but with yourself, what was it like, in terms of being able to push through what happened with yourself? Because there was an injury that you sustained, during your journey.
Yeah, so the injury happened, of course, in this May 2022. And it's been actually 6 months. I've not been back to the gym yet. And I'm looking to get back into the gym. But in terms of in terms of during this period where I broke a major injury, which was basically life-threatening. I broke my pelvis. And it was a very difficult moment in a sense, because I truly believe that I was never going to be able to walk. I started on a wheelchair, and I could not go to the toilet myself. My wife would help me, and because I had a catheter, I don't know if you ever heard of what's a catheter, so I couldn't actually go for wee by myself. So they had to put through a little pipe through my penis.
Yes.
So and then that way I could automatically I could go to the toilet, if that makes sense. So it was a very, very difficult moment for somebody. I am one of the strongest guys in the gym. I help anyone. And at this moment, I felt, of course, the nurses and my wife and my family and my friends were very supportive. But in this moment, I felt I didn't like help, because I'm the guy who likes to help. And all of a sudden now I'm in this vulnerable position where I can't do anything for myself. And it was like, of course, in that moment, there was so much pain. So I didn't really care less, but it was quite humbling for me to be in that sort of situation where I could not be able to do anything. But from there on, I realized I was actually fortunate to still be alive, because that injury was life-threatening. So I was very, and I'm still grateful. So I kind of put my mindset that if I could just be on a wheelchair and be able to still help others, in terms of pursuing their goal, in terms of their health goals, or mentally to get through certain situations, then I'm this guy. I'm preparing myself. I'm not saying people who actually on wheelchair even all their life. I'm so like, I don't know how to describe it, but for me, I'm just so grateful, and I respect everybody out there in the sense, but I was preparing myself that I'll be on a wheelchair the rest of my life. So anyway, I think it was more mindset than anything else. So even to this point, I've not been into the gym, but my mindset, I think, helped me, and being gracious and grateful. I think that has helped me to understand, to appreciate that I'm just happy to be alive, to be able to have an interview with you even right now, or to be able to have a glass of water and things like that. So the little small things we take for granted, I kind of started looking even deeper into it. But like I say, for me, all my life, I've always appreciated everything in life, but that got me even further in terms of looking at the bigger perspective. So when I started going on the Zimmer frame, that was a big win for me. And then when I got on the crutches, was like, oh my God, I felt like I've won the World Cup, that I can actually walk on crutches. So it was more mindset than anything else, to cut a long story short on that one.
Who is it in your life that you would say that inspires you and helps you sort of feel that motivated? Is it more celebrity based, or is it family based, or anyone that you could think in particular that it helps us, that inspires you, that's inspired you over time?
I would say for me it was Ronnie Coleman. He's 8 times Mr. Olympia, and the weight he's moved, like in terms of like when he was at his best, he was something absolutely special. So for me, I kind of find inspiration that if I could be a quarter of that, not even that, I'll be just happy. And of course, he's gone through so many injuries as well over the years. Of course, me prior to that, I've always admired that. But of course, sort of me having that injury as well, kind of like he had so many injuries and he came back. And the other guy I would say I aspired to was Jay Cutler. He had a major injury. And when I was at Arnold Classic, I had the privilege to actually be in the gym with him, me and him only. The gym was empty and you could not believe that. And there was me and Jay Cutler. And I'm talking to Jay Cutler. This is in September. This September, a month or so ago. And then Jay Cutler, I'm talking to him and I'm telling him about my injury. And I'm thinking, like, what do you think about this? I know what I want to do, but I know he has experience. He's 4 times Mr. Olympia. And I'm thinking, like, so Jay, what do you think I should do? I just wanted to see his perspective. And he said, there's got to be a comeback. You need to come back into the sport. The people need you. And you need to come back and compete again. So I think I'll give you an idea what's going to happen in the next coming 23. So those are the guys who inspired me: Ronnie Coleman and of course Jay Cutler. The battle, of course, over the years in terms of on stage, but I admired Ronnie Coleman's strength and Jay Cutler's business acumen. Of course, he was a great athlete as well.
Is there a particular sort of favorite dish that you have, like dietary sort of needs and on there? What is your diet like, and do you have a particular dish that you like to eat as well? Because I know a lot of people tend to feel that, you know, you get lots of advice and you hear like different habits from different people. You know, it's you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can eat this, but you can eat that. I don't think there's anything wrong in what you eat. I think it's more of the habit. You know, if you're training, you can't be eating McDonald's every day. That's not like that's not a bodybuilder's diet, you know.
Now and again you can, but I'll explain a bit more into that. So my favorite dish will be, for me, I love steak, fillet steak with potatoes. It could be one potato or it could be even chips, like normal fried chips, and some vegetables. It could be broccoli. Broccoli is my favorite veg. So that's my favorite dish. But in regards, you kind of hit the nail on the head. There's not such things as bad food or good food, but as long 80% of your food you're eating is nutritious, then there's, of course, in terms of for your goals, in terms of whether it's building muscle or weight loss, then that's fine. You can have a 20% where, personally, I like chocolate and I like a beef burger. So those I can, you know, that's why I was defending McDonald's so much there, you know.
Yeah. Oh, no, I I meant. Well, I think the best. I mean, you can have those, but I think
Yes.
when you see there was a documentary going back where if you had it for breakfast, dinner, and lunch, and like all, you'll get to a level, to a point where you think, I can't eat this, and then I'm working out because it's not really a good dietary thing.
Yeah,
But I
there
know
won't
what you
be no.
mean in terms of a particular thing. Obviously, you've got the like the burgers and stuff like
Yes.
that. But if you've got things like eating the same meal 3 to 4 times a day, and then you're expecting to get results in a workout and having a physique like you, no chance. If you explain to someone that if they carried on eating a particular diet that they've got, and you put all of the items on the table, that's what they're putting in their body.
Yeah. No, I'll probably agree with that in that sense. But the thing is, when it comes to dieting, whether it's building muscle or not building or losing body fat, it all boils down to the total caloric intake. So, for example, for somebody who is looking to build muscle, of course, you want to have nutritious food, but as long you're on a caloric surplus without, some people get lazy. They say they're building and then they eat McDonald's every day or KFC every day, in the sense that majority of their food, it's not nutritious. Say, for example, 80% of their food, then you're going to get fat. You're not going to build any muscle whatsoever. But let's say, for example, somebody is looking to build muscle and they have 80% nutritious foods, and then 20% could be whatever they want to sort of eat a little bit. But as long, the most important thing, they're in that caloric surplus, then they'll build quality muscle tissue. It's exactly the same opposite way with someone looking to sort of lose weight. As long you're on a caloric deficit, you're going to lose weight. You could lose weight on McDonald's or whatever, but the quality of your skin and the quality of your general well-being, the strength, it's not going to be the same. So you still lose weight, but the quality or the tonality of the muscle is not quite good quality. So it's, of course, vital that the majority of the food is quite nutritious so that you can lose weight, but also build the muscle tissue. And of course, you can still be on a caloric deficit eating chocolate. But obviously, overall, your diet being chocolate morning, chocolate dinner, chocolate lunch, you're not going to lose body fat you will lose body fat, but you kind of look skinny fat because you're going to end up probably losing muscle because you're not putting the nutrients to build that muscle tissue to be able to be toned and look healthy and very, 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 very good physique.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a great pleasure interviewing Stephen. And like I said, I mentioned to you guys, three times British champion and celebrity coach. Now, if you need any information, don't forget to press subscribe, and also the link that I'm going to get from Stephen himself, a lot more about extreme nutrition. And if you need any more help and want even some coaching directly with Stephen and his team, please let us know, and we will be able to help you out with that. Wherever it is on here underneath the screen, there should be a link to be able to direct you straight to Stephen's website, and even the information that he's going to give me after this interview. Thank you very much for coming on to the Phil Carew Show, Stephen, and I'm really honoured to be able to working with you in the foreseeable future as well. You take care, guys, and yourself, Stephen, and your family. You take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Take care.